On behalf of the Division of Student Affairs, Ball State University stands in solidarity with our students and the Muncie community in our shared commitment to the fundamental American values of diversity, inclusion, and mutual respect. In lieu of the events that occurred on Halloween night, it has been our mission to support all of our students in ensuring a safe and vibrant campus community. In times like these, it is imperative to remember that everyone has the right to assemble, march, and speak freely, but intimidation and assaults have no place anywhere in our society. These values are at the foundation of our educational mission as a university. In light of these events, a leadership team has been formed to evaluate current policies and ensure that we are doing the very best we can to support all of our students. This video is meant to serve as an educational tool for faculty and administration to inform them of the steps we are taking as a university to address situations like this and support our students.
What we know about the events that took place on Halloween. Protesters were assembled at the Scramble Light, an area designated for free assembly. Traffic was not impeded, academic work was not interrupted. The protesters held signs and chanted, and students have called to offices to complain.
As a result, we have identified 3 key problems that arose from the situation. Number 1, we cannot violate the First Amendment rights of the protesters in question. Number 2, we must be aware and give guidance toward the safety and well-being of our students, staff, and faculty. And number 3, we must address the lack of student awareness toward campus policies, specifically those concerning expressive activities. In regard to the First Amendment right, here is what we have decided. The First Amendment gives the right to anyone to assemble and voice their opinion. Since we are a public institution and therefore our grounds are public, we have to allow them to peacefully protest. We cannot ask them to disperse based solely on the content of their protest. We strongly encourage students to read up on the impact of the First Amendment on college campuses. You will find 2 excellent articles to reference at the end of this presentation. Unfortunately, hate speech is not an exception to this rule and therefore cannot be grounds for their dispersal. The second issue is the safety of our students, staff, and faculty. This is of utmost importance to us. We received several reports from students who felt their safety was at risk during this protest. In response, we strongly encourage students to seek alternate routes in order to avoid protesters. We also encourage students to avoid engaging the protesters in debate. Please consider walking on the other side of the road or just ignoring them as you pass. You are innocent and protected so long as you do not engage them in any physical altercations. It is very important that our students understand this. Finally, we want to address the information provided in the Student Rights and Responsibility Handbook, specifically Appendix N. Appendix N details our policy on expressive activities. The appendix notes the allowance of protesters to assemble and protects them so long as they meet campus policies. The protesters in question follow campus policy, therefore we had no grounds to ask them to disperse.
The basis of our decision was founded on literature. We looked at the following pieces of literature to inform our decision. The first is the NASPA Advising and Supporting Competency. As student affairs professionals, we have the responsibility to advise and support the students we serve through developmental challenges and processes that they may face. In this situation, we feel that it is necessary that this competency be utilized. In addition to this, the law, policy, and governance NASPA competency must also be employed. Student affairs professionals have an obligation to understand the laws and policies that inform our practice. Therefore, we also considered this competency while discussing possible solutions to the problems identified. In addition, we employed Sanford's theory of challenge and support to provide our team guidance. Sanford stated that it is necessary to not only support students, but to also challenge them during their developmental process. While we understand that it is necessary to support students in these types of situations, we also believe that they must be challenged to educate themselves, not only on their own First Amendment rights and the First Amendment rights of the protesters, but also on how to peacefully engage with them. Lastly, we have examined the policies and procedures of other public universities as well as what past universities have done to diffuse tension on their campuses after times of protest.
Moving forward, Despite the nature of the situation, we do not condone or support the views of the protesters. We value and appreciate diversity in our institution. At this point in time, we are working with the president of the university to issue a statement regarding this event and how the university values its diverse population. We are also working with the president to establish a series of seminars open to students, faculty, and staff regarding campus policies on expressive activities and how to appropriately address them. We will continue to support our students by encouraging them to access resources on campus like the Counseling Center and the Residence Life staff. In conclusion, universities are models of democracy where differing viewpoints, open dialogue, and broad-mindedness are embraced. Ball State University recognizes freedom of expression as a constitutional right, and we are dedicated to protecting it for everyone. As a public university, we will continue to celebrate our diverse campus community and the inclusiveness of our civil interactions with each other. At times like this, we are reminded that institutions of higher education should be a learning experience for everyone. That's why we will continue to speak out against the efforts of those who would attempt to divide us based on our differences, whether that be race, religion, ethnicity, national origin, sexual orientation, or gender identity.